Welcome back and thank you for staying with us here at Hot 7 TV. A former sergeant of traffic police has spoken on a hit and run that took place over the weekend. The retired officer informed drivers that they have the responsibility to be as careful as can be when utilizing the country's roads and has asked motorists to take accountability when they do find themselves in the wrong.
Videos of a young man making deliberate attempts to leave the scene of a motor vehicular accident have gone viral on social media. Former Sergeant of Traffic Police Leontius Joseph says this video has brought up many concerns as drivers have a responsibility to ensure they adhere to road rules. He says there are very few instances where individuals who have been in accidents should leave the accident scene.
Persons who find themselves involved with collisions and run away, the law speaks of that. Unless you've been prevented by some cause, you should remain on the collision scene at all times. Unless if there is an emergency that you're attending to, and of course the onus is on you to prove that you were actually attending to an emergency at the time and that you couldn't stay. And even when you leave, you still have to leave contact information for the other party or parties that you're involved in.
He says motorists need to remember that they are obligated to remain on the scene. However, he underscored that there are many reasons why one would be tempted to leave an accident scene.
They panic, and once panic strikes, they lost, they run away. 2, they are not the holders of driver's licenses. Okay? And number 3, the vehicle is not insured. The 4th one is that vehicle was taken without consent. Even if a vehicle has insurance and you're not the holder of a driver's license, the insurance company will find it very difficult to compensate anybody for any damage or injuries caused as a result of a person driving a vehicle without the holder of a driver's license.
Joseph has urged members of the public to make it their duty to familiarize themselves with the road laws as well as other legislation that govern the road.
You must understand that once there are vehicles on the road, you will have collisions. You cannot get away from it. Collisions were meant to be. There will always be collisions. Okay? And that is why sometimes they call it an accident. Okay? You must understand that when that happens, it could either be negligence from one party or negligence on both parties, on both sides. But tell me something, after you have find yourself involved in a vehicular collision, you have damage and you have injury, do you think arguing on the scene will resolve the situation? The question is no. As a matter of fact, arguments sometimes and most times lead to even physical fight, and we've seen it happen all the time.
He says motorists, however, need to be more cautious and responsible on the island's roadways. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Genevieve Gonzalez.
Video footage of sand being taken out of the PI beach has sparked controversy and debate in the south of the island. Many questions have been asked as to what exactly is transpiring and whether or not it is sand mining that is taking place. The parliamentary representative for Choiseul Saltibus, Bradley Felix, says there is no sand mining taking place and the project being undertaken is simply part of a larger desilting project.
The parliamentary representative for Choiseul Saltibus, Bradley Felix, has spoken out on what most individuals have indicated is sand mining at the PI beach. Videos have gone viral of an excavator removing sand at the mouth of the beach. The MP gave an account of what has been transpiring and says all the noise is much ado about nothing.
Because of the kind of wave action at the PI beach, as fast as you remove or you unblock the river mouth, it is blocked up again, especially because there are different seasons. So in any event, the current desilting has been done at PI. Permission had been granted by the Ministry of Infrastructure. Okay, the intention was to unblock the river mouth. Okay, also to do some desilting, and whoever is doing the work has been instructed to ensure that every day when they cutting away material, there's also significant spreading on the existing beach of material to ensure you build up the beach even more.
He says whatever material is removed from the mouth of the beach will be used for the upkeep of the constituency. Therefore, members of the community should not fret.
The material that is being taken away from the beach is actually for projects in the Choiseul community and surroundings. Okay? So we are not sun mining as has been reported, but pretty much balancing the whole blocking of the river mouth, the silting the riverbed to ensure. And there's a video, I don't know if you remember last year, Rochelle, where it was bright sunshine, but because of rain inland, that river, Kai River, came down with such force.
Yes,
and it actually cut across in the middle of the beach, okay, throwing down coconut plants that were already planted. And this is something that happens in the area.
He says this is part of a larger project and has been going on for a while now.
We have been doing these interventions. There's never been, that sort of outcry. But I guess now we're in what is termed the silly season. And so people look everything, now to add their own spice to it. I will not, as long as I'm parliamentary representative, do anything to endanger what we have and what we cherish. Okay? Whoever is doing the work has been instructed, okay, to continuously spread material on the beach, okay, as much as they're also removing for the ongoing project.
Members of the public, however, continue to be outraged as they say many have been arrested for sand mining and the government seems to be doing the very same without any repercussions or concern. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Genevieve Gonzalez.
Choiseul Saltibus parliamentary representative Bradley Felix is lamenting the brazen burglary at the newly opened Massey store in Lafargue, Choiseul over the weekend. Felix says this is an unavoidable issue. However, tighter security would be beneficial to deter such perpetrators. More in this report. The parliamentary representative for Choiseul Saltibus, Bradley Felix, has addressed an embarrassing matter which occurred in his constituency at around 10 p.m. on Sunday, February 14th. A lone thief was captured on CCTV breaking and entering into the newly built and opened Massey store in Lafargue, Choiseul, where he proceeded to help himself with some snacks and a beverage before making his exit. The footage of the crime has since gone viral, with many left in amazement with the perpetrator's boldness. Others expressed disappointment that such a crime would occur less than 3 months after the store was opened in December. Felix lamented the fact that no area in society is immune to individuals who are bad apples.
You always will find people who look for an opportunity to make easy buck. Unfortunately, it is something that continues to happen in any society that's developing. You get people who look for the easy way out.
With that said, Felix explained that there are unconfirmed reports indicating that the perpetrator's mental state is a factor behind the crime.
It's my understanding that the individual who entered the place may not be altogether of sound mind. Okay, that's yet to be confirmed, but that has been some of the reports that have been coming to me as parliamentary rep. I cannot speak to the damage or the loss. So I did see a video which reflected the individual picking up 2 items and a drink and running out. So just that could inform what went on inside of there.
The MP said the matter sheds light on the importance of having effective security measures in place. The Ministry of Health and Wellness is discouraging the local population on misusing alcohol during the COVID-19 pandemic. The misuse and abuse of alcohol can impact one's mental health, leading to violent, antisocial behavior and suicidal thoughts. Program Officer at the Substance Abuse Advisory Council Secretariat advises that in the face of the current pandemic, alcohol will weaken one's immunity, thereby reducing one's ability to respond adequately and cope with infectious diseases, including COVID-19.
The Ministry of Health and Wellness has come out to persuade the population on not using alcohol as a coping mechanism to deal with the hardships of the COVID-19 pandemic. The Substance Abuse Advisory Council Secretariat has taken it upon themselves to educate the public about the myths and facts surrounding alcohol use. Alcohol is seen as a harmful substance that has an adverse effect on one's general health, and according to the Secretariat's program officer, should not be used to cope with the pandemic. Heidi Kodra dispelled the myths surrounding the use of alcohol.
Alcohol is a throat sanitizer. Fact. Alcohol-based sanitizers are effective for the sanitization of hands and surfaces. 2. Myth. Alcohol gives immunity against COVID-19. Fact. Alcohol will increase the risk of other infectious and respiratory diseases like chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, tuberculosis, and pneumonia. 3. Myth. Alcohol stimulates the immune system. Fact. Alcohol weakens the immune system and worsens underlying physical and mental health problems. 4. Myth. Alcohol on one's breath kills the virus in the air. Fact. It is impossible for alcohol on one's breath to kill the COVID-19 virus.
The Secretariat advised the population to be of support to those who are unable to cope without the use of alcohol, as well as to follow the protocols set up by the state within the workplace, home, and community at large.
If you have a family member or friend dependent on alcohol and you notice withdrawal symptoms, please seek medical assistance. Call a family doctor or visit your nearest wellness center. If you are struggling to stay away without alcohol, call the national hotline 203 for support. 5. Do not use alcohol as a means of coping with domestic challenges and other stresses. 6. Do not use alcohol while taking prescribed medication. 7. Children should not be exposed to alcohol nor consume it.
The Ministry of Health encourages the public to be cautious and vigilant during this time and to work towards minimizing contracting COVID-19 by observing the necessary protocols and being mindful of the impact of alcohol use and its misuse. For the Hot 7 News, Nisha Charles reporting.
Please stay with the broadcast. We have more coming up after this break.